everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Holy crumbs, what a day that was, starting yesterday when the kitten, Nix, decided to have witching hour all night. Anyhow. So had a fabulous day, been very busy, and I do apologise for not coming on till really late. Now, filled me whiskey up, more ice cubes up, and I was going to do some Bindi Cam. There she is in the corner, not on the rug, and Spot's moved to the other side of the desk there. Nix is fast asleep on the couch because she had a really busy night last night. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, what do I want to have a look at in this particular reading? I wasn't going to read on this because I didn't have it noted down, but I am now. So what has happened is that Keg's Breath has come out and announced that they are going to with the name of the actually just let me pause for 2 seconds. I had to get the name right because I was going to say Operation Swordfish and I knew that wasn't wrong. So he's come out and basically given a name to the military build-up and the attacking of boats in the Caribbean, which is absolutely nutso because they can't prove that they are actually drug-running boats. And the Colombians have reported Kegs and Rubio and the Orange Twerp to the ICC because apparently they blew up a Colombian fishing boat. I read on that a couple of weeks ago, and it's just absolutely a nightmare down there at the moment. So he's called it Operation Southen Spear, claiming it will protect America's neighbourhood. Now, there's nothing much coming out about it. Apparently being led by a joint task force with the US Southern Command. But basically what's happened is they're just still going through the motions of working out what the heck they're going to do. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading is that will things... Well, I think that's a yes as I split the deck. Those living in their luxurious accommodation, not listening to what they're actually being advised, and the Sun card, which is a huge yes. So will there be a will there actually be a declaration of war is what I want to ask. Will there there's the military. What will the military do? Considering it's not an attack against the Americans, yeah, and then we've got those that tied themselves to the devil. Oh boy, those cards just flinging out. Okay. It is Dictator 101, worked for Netanyahu, worked for the Kremlin, has worked for other dictators where they sort of create a conflict through false flag events, etc. And we know we're fully aware and watching for a false flag event. It's to do with the money that's been stolen, I think, and sent overseas. There's a harsh truth coming as the truth is revealed, and there's going to be really heightened emotions. Certain people are wanting to keep this hidden with that Four of Pentacles, but I think there's going to be a very loud broadcasting about an abuse of power and a stealing. This is not a vote. This is the missing, I think this is the missing tariff and the missing snap money. Supporters, MAGA supporters could probably explain away in their own sordid minds the Epstein emails, but yeah, sort of truth. They're telling me I'm on target in regards to this, as there is some sort of illegal action that's been taken with the Queen of Swords. Um, if it's, and just got the Sun as well. So yeah, it's one thing to protect a sordid bunch of, let me call them, pedophiles, from their actions in the past, but it's a completely different thing to have stolen the money from ordinary Americans. And I think this is going, okay, you want that card out. So let me have a look. What is it that's going to trigger an escalation here? What is it that is going to trigger an escalation? So this card popped out. Treason. Feeling betrayed, stabbed through the heart. Yeah. Oh boy, I know it's my treason card. I use that term loosely because the actions probably aren't legally treasonous, but morally and emotionally they are. But this is betrayal. What's going to trigger a conflict? The people feeling betrayed. Okay, however, the challenge is the Queen of Cups. She is an emotionally mature and calm queen who is not exposed everything yet, bringing forward more information. I know Danny Shea has her as his, that was his Harris card because the King of Cups was Biden, but I don't feel it is. This is like a negotiator behind the scenes, because for me, queens are internally on the quiet doing, not out in public, whereas the kings are very much out in public. So the challenge is, I think, is negotiations behind the scenes with information that has not yet been revealed. Okay, this is to do with actions in the past. It is the Epstein Files card as well, but what are they stewing in? Actions from the past. In the past, harvesting the money. There it is, harvesting the money with the Seven of Pentacles. Looking to see if anyone's watching with the basket there, ready to steal off the tree, and I don't know whether it's her tree or not. It might be somebody else's tree. Yep. In the past, harvesting the money. Crowning the reading, we've got the Six of Swords. This could be legally moving on out of tumultuous waters to calmer waters. This might be some legal action that is taken. This could also be somebody fleeing the country. But we've got here legally on the ships. Okay, so there might be an illegal order that's made. Now, a few of you have explained to me, and it's completely understandable. If an illegal order is made and the military person ignores that order, they are automatically up on a court-martial. And then it is up for the court-martial court to decide whether the order was illegal or not. So you can sort of understand why the military people are still taking these what we consider illegal actions, because they don't want to be court-martialed and then have to go through that, thrown in the stockade and have to get legal representation and pay for it and go through the whole rigmarole of being cross-examined and called a liar and all the rest of it. Because I can imagine it's pretty awful if anyone's watched A Few Good Men or Jag. It's sort of, do I do this borderline illegal thing that is, could be or couldn't be, and then and just cross my fingers behind my back, Or do I stand up and not do it and end up being dragged before, thrown in the stockade and dragged before a court martial in court and having to hope that I am found innocent? You can understand the military, what way they take. However, you've got the Six of Swords here on this boat moving out of troubled waters. So there might be some serious jag talking here going on. Okay, the immediate future, the mercenary actions, or this could simply be information coming forward about the money. Let's see where we go. The money that has found its way overseas with that Two of Pentacles, the money laundering, the money fiddling, being sent overseas. I'm not getting any big yes cards here, so let's see where this goes. Internally, you've got, well, it could be the happy families, but it's also the voter. For me, this is the voter. And Christina talks to a brilliant video yesterday where she's basically saying it's the biggest voting bloc that needs to F and bleep and wake up to themselves and experience this pain. And the biggest voting bloc in the US is those that cannot be bothered to vote. And they're the ones that are really having to feel the pain. The Orange Twerp, he only got about 30%. Harris only got about 30%. I think she, well, yeah, technically, I think she actually ended up, of those that voted, she got about 70%. So the Orange Twerp probably got, 10 if he was lucky. But the biggest voting bloc in the United States is those that didn't vote. So, okay, so we've got the voter here internally. We've got the money laundering here, hopes and fears, some sort of verbal order, agreement. Is it going to escalate? I don't think it is, because you've got the Queen of Cups, and in the outcome you've got the Knight of Cups, some sort of placating offer made on the world stage, and the US finding itself on the back foot. And here we've got the King of Cups, the external negotiator, the action being taken, that's going to bring this all to an end, legally to an end, with the Ten of Swords. Yeah, I don't think it's going to escalate. I'm not getting anything. I think the intention is for it to escalate. So let's have a quick look. Is the order going to come down? Is there going to be an order that comes down from, oh gosh, the blooming devil card's poking its head out at me there. Is an order going to come down from the regime to fire on Venezuela? Now, do not be surprised if there is a false flag event. I keep getting that they're planning it. Sorry, yes, full of ice now. It's not all whiskey, trust me. Oh, mind you, after today, I suspect I could. Okay, well, we've got 2 2s and something unexpected out of left field coming up there. I think the 8 of Wands there is talking about a military strike, but the Page of Swords is standing firm and not shifting. And then we've got the Death card, bringing things to an end, and it's to do with the harvesting of money. And what's going to happen is they're going to be strung up and shook out. And there's the voter again. I think the intention is, because you've got another 2 there, Page of Wands, some sort of instruction, and then the High Priestess, hidden agendas. But it's just a way too far with that 10 of Wands. I think the intention is, now I believe there was another false flag event prevented in New York City, and some sort of explosive device was found in time and got disposed of. Okay, so let me ask, is the intention, will the regime, entertainment only if I haven't said it already, is the intention to try and distract and the information coming out is the intention of the regime to somehow create, a reason to attack. Okay, yes, and it's all to do with money. But I think you've got the justice card here challenging it, I think, legally. Because now that Congress is sitting again, only Congress can declare a war. Oh, and this maneuver in the Caribbean, I think, has reached a point where Congress has to actually vote on it. I think it's 60 days or something before it has to go before Congress. And I think we're about at that stage. Oh, there's the military on the bottom. Actually, I'm just going to put those down. I'm going to pause you for a moment and have a look. Hang on. Okay, the way it works is that the War Powers Resolution Act of 1973 requires the President to notify Congress within 48 hours of deploying US armed forces into hostilities or certain situations abroad, and limits continued military action to 60 days without congressional authorization, with a possible 30-day extension to withdraw the troops. So that 30-day extension is only to withdraw. Okay, so are we nearly at our 60 days? Let me have a look. Hang on a sec. Okay, the movement into the Caribbean was late August, late September, late October, late November. So pretty much he's got about 2 weeks before it has to go to Congress. So again, that timeline is really running out. It's running out on a health level, and it's running out on a legal level, and this on the war footing level as well. So not even 2 weeks, perhaps 10 days before it has to go to Congress to be approved. Otherwise, it's an illegal act. So what we've got here is the Ace of Pentacles. This may be some sort of declaration. What was I asking? Is their intention to do so? But legally, they may be stopped. Okay, at the foundation, the Ten of Swords, it is not going to end well with anybody in authority that was involved in this. The energy that they're stewing is in it, yes, it was the intention. Legally, it's going to be stopped, and the fallout is going to be savage with the Ten of Swords. The energy that those involved, yes, it's their intention, but it's not going to end well for them. In the past, the hidden agenda, we know what they are claiming is not true. The boats that they are bombing out of the water couldn't make, I think that someone worked out that they needed, 20-something refuelings to even get to US shores, which, yeah, hidden agenda. We know what they are telling us is not true. Crowning this reading, you've got the King of Cups. Again, this calming energy. Now, it may have been Biden reminding the troops of their oath before what he signed, the PEDS Act before he signed. I know he's not well at the moment, sorry. Don't breathe while you're sipping whiskey. Yeah, or this could be just somebody who is a really calming energy, coming forward, taking action on the situation. Okay, immediate future. We've got this fading misogynistic energy, this fading dictator energy, as we have the rise of the feminine. Yeah, absolutely. The chest beating, the saber rattling, etc. Externally, we've got the Nine of Cups, the secret dealings in the dark corners, but also be careful what you wish for, because there might be a rat in the rafters listening to your plans. Okay, internally finding themselves entrapped by the messaging, or this could be some sort of announcement coming out of the White House, but I think this is more in this particular deck, because my guides tell me to use particular decks because of the images. with this Four of Wands, they are encircled by the Four Wands. There's no announcement, there's no celebration. Finding themselves trapped by the messaging that they're putting out there. Queen of Swords, legal action being taken. The Six of Wands, unhorsed from the false victory, the false military leader, if you want to put it that way. Page of Swords, truths then coming out, and the Death card bringing an ending, and it's to cover up the harvesting of the money. Those involved will be strung up and shook out, and the Ten of Wands, the chaotic, they're just not going to be able to pull it off with that Ten of Wands. And then the bus throwing starts with the Five of Wands, and we couldn't have an orange twerp regime reading without the Tower card. The Tower, you've got Russia, you've got secrets being revealed with the Moon card, the lunacy of it. You've got overseas action with the Three of Wands, and a huge, 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 huge wake-up call in regards to it. You've got the military, and you've got the World card. Military, bringing things to an end. Information is brought out about treason that's a nightmare, and the Five of Swords, the stealing, the betrayal, the deceit. I think the intention is yes, but I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. I would not be surprised if there is a few on the side, not going through official channels, troop commanders, ship captains, you name it, admirals of the fleet, whatever they are over there, having a word to their JAG on the side. I would not be surprised if that. And okay, tell me just quickly, is there going to be an order come down to fire on Venezuelan soil? Is there going to be an order come down to fire on Venezuelan soil? Strength. There's show of strength. Nine of Cups, be careful with what you wish for, because the rat in the rafters, and then a harsh truth coming forward. Rash action. The Knight of Swords can also be a rash action as well, but he has drawn and wielded that sort of truth. King of Swords, Five of Swords, and Page of Cups, information coming forward about who was involved. And then you've got the steal. I think, or the stealing of, the lies, the deceit, the betrayal. Yeah. I think there is with that strength card, but I don't think, with the rat in the rafters and these other cards that come out, I think there's already conversations happening within the higher echelons of the ranks, especially after that terrible, terrible military leaders meeting that Kegs and Twerp wasn't supposed to be there, I'm just going to put that out there, where they just chest beated and threatened and you name it. It was just absolutely awful. There were JAG lawyers in the audience. They were seen in the audience, and they were seen taking notes. So yeah, I think the order's going to come down, but I think the military have already put in place, because there's no huge dramatic cards there until it's all outed. And the outing's not against Venezuela, it's against the regime. Yeah, so I think, yes, there is, but I think that there's already contingency plans in place. Entertainment only. Please be aware, don't be alarmed. Don't immerse yourself. Spend time with your grandkiddies. Yes, all the bits on my white shirt are grandkiddie 1-year-old lunch. Yeah, you gotta love it. Day in the park, up and down stairs, stopping in to chat with local business people. Yeah, it was just a lovely, lovely day with them. Okay, I shall catch you shortly. Take care. Bye bye.